Hey, whenever you're ready.
So pretend you posted a picture, you uploaded it, you get likes, but then someone comments you're a bitch or a slut or a whore or you're handsome or whatever the case may be for you. That would be considered cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is basically where someone attacks you online. There's different types of bullying, but I'm gonna be focusing on cyberbullying. 34% of students are bullied at some point in their life, and that's kind of what I want to talk about because I think that there's not enough attention brought to it. I know that doing all this research, I still will use social media, but I just want to bring awareness to you guys. So I'm going to be illuminating the effects of social media for you. Two terms that I'm going to be using are fraudulent, and that's obtained, done by, or involving deception, which is lying. And catfishing, that's to lure somebody in, pretending to be somebody you're not, using a fake persona and whatnot. I kind of want to point out on my board, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a list of the things that I'm going to be talking about. I want you guys to kind of just notice that. And then I'm going to be talking about tragedies that happen and examples. So I was reading, and what caught my attention is that there's thousands of stories online that talk about being cyberbullied and how ultimately it results in suicide. I'm going to be reading different little examples that I took. So in a research that I read, a 9-year-old boy, he committed suicide after he came out as gay. He was targeted at school. He was targeted on social media. He got a lot of hate for it, and ultimately he ended up committing suicide. A similar story is Kenneth. He did the same thing, and he came out as gay, and his friends, his best friends, his family friends, they all made an anti-gay page for him on Facebook. And basically, they targeted him, they threatened him, and he ended up committing suicide because he didn't want his family to be at risk. Two stories that were similar is Jesse Logan and Hope. They both were interested in a boy, and or it was their boyfriend, and they sent them a nude. And after they broke up, they sent it out to the whole school, and the girls both were targeted, and they were both considered a whore and a slut. And one of the girls, she went to a funeral of a boy who was bullied, and he had committed suicide, and she went home and decided to do the same thing. And I think that's pretty significant because she was thinking about it, she was having these thoughts, and ultimately she turned to it. If you look at my board, I'm gonna change the page and kind of go to a better version, a lighter version. I'm gonna talk about the pros. So I know that I'm focusing on the negatives aspects of it, but I'm going to be kind of shining light on that. It's not all bad, it's not all negative. You can meet new people, you can connect with friends or family that you don't really talk to as often. You can kind of show off your advancements in your job or your work or just anything of that aspect. And so I kind of just want to point that out. That's in the center of my board. And I know that we all pretty much use social media. We're intrigued by the drama on Twitter, the beef on Instagram or whatever it may be. But I think that you guys should not be bystanders anymore. At this point, it's getting serious, and I think that we should bring more awareness to it. So, economically, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to talk about that right now. So basically, people are going on and pretending to be these brands, these companies, and they're impersonating them, the successful ones. So let's pretend that you want to be a shoe company. You're going to create a logo or a brand, and basically they use that to lure you in. If you click on their link, you click on their website, you take a survey, they're automatically getting money for it, and ultimately that's wasting your time because they can hack into your system, they can hack into your phone and take your money. So I read on a Wells Fargo website through their actual page that they say that people promote how to make easy money, fill out their survey, or they say you have guaranteed returns, but you ultimately don't. You have nothing good comes out of it if you click the links. So just be aware, be more attentive to the clicks. Even though it says make easy money and we all would like more money at some point in our life, it can come in handy. But I do believe that you should be more aware of that. if you click the link, just be aware, and that can go into your junk mail. I know that's kind of separate, but the junk mail that you have you can erase, just ignore it, don't click it, don't open it, because they can hack your server, they can hack your phone, you can get access to your online banking if you have that on your phone, so just be aware of that. Despite all the negatives that kind of occur on social media on a day-to-day basis, I believe that you guys should stop being bystanders. I think if we don't defend people and you don't reach out, you can see something, you can just say, hey, like, this isn't right, or do what you can. I think that you should stop it, because ultimately that's not resulting in anything. People are committing suicide on a day-to-day basis. It's the 10th leading death in the US, and teens are more prone to commit suicide than anybody else, and I think that you should be more attentive to those things. Thank you.
So, Yui, what did you think? Well, she's not here. Well, forget what she thinks. What do I think? I thought the visualization at the beginning was an okay way to kind of get this subject introduced. You're talking about cyberbullying at first, and I thought that that's what the topic was going to be. You'd narrowed it down pretty well, and that was going to be your focus. But your purpose statement doesn't mention cyberbullying at all. The supporting points sound like you're going to be talking about some ways in which cyberbullying might occur, but there is, you basically talk about cyberbullying in the first section a little bit, and then after that, everything seems to be about different issues from using social media, including hacking and violations of privacy and economic distress, those kinds of things, which I'm not sure that those qualify as cyberbullying. Maybe they do. Maybe that's why you've included them. It's not very clear there. You set up a preview that I thought was pretty solid, but then you didn't really follow those structures. You had like the 3 types of cyberbullying that you were going to talk about, but then that's not really the structure of the speech. It goes in a lot of different directions. I like the examples that you had, especially in the first section. Those details and the stories pull people in. I think that's where you need a little bit more follow-up with that statistical information about suicides. You kind of used that at the end as a closing. I think it probably would have worked better in the earlier section when you were giving examples of the young people who did this. At one point you kind of refer to the visual, and you're talking about the positive points of being online, and going, okay, well, that didn't seem to fit in with any of the things that you were talking about. You don't really talk about it very long, and then we're off onto a different tangential subject. So I thought that was a little bit problematic also. It almost sounds like when you're talking about the economic manipulation that goes on, that you're equating that with catfishing. I'm not sure if that's how you're trying to connect it to the original preview that you set up. If you are, it needs to be a lot clearer, and if you aren't, I'm not sure why this issue is in here at all. It feels like it's completely separate from what you originally were going to be talking about. You end up kind of on a lot of different issues related to the use of social media that are not necessarily cyberbullying, and I'm not sure that they are being unified, except in the sense that, well, be careful what you do, be vigilant about what you're doing, and don't do mean things, and stand up to people who do mean things. I don't know how you stand up to the people who are doing the economic thing that you're talking about, where you're inviting clicks and then using that information and gaining some economic advantage from people as a result of that. You're supposed to report that. You're supposed to highlight it. Just ignore it, like you said. If it's in the junk mail, dump it. It just feels like it's kind of a half a thing here. There needs to be a little bit more explanation about what it is you're trying to accomplish. The visual is problematic for a couple of reasons, and it's not because it's a poster board. There's nothing wrong with the poster board, but the poster board is way too cluttered. You have too much information on that. It's up there the whole time. It's in the background, so it's always a distraction while you are speaking. And there are things on it that you never talk about. There are things on it that you make reference to, but it doesn't really add anything. At best, it's kind of a signpost about where you are in the speech, but it doesn't add any understanding to the material. And except for maybe a logo or two, there's nothing particularly visual about it that makes it stand out. So I think that it's maybe an ill-advised attempt to put everything in one place that you think, well, that'll keep things relatively simple, and it's not using social media, and it's not using the digital stuff, so I'm being true to what it is I'm talking about here. I don't think it accomplishes that. I think it really just doesn't help you that much. It's mostly a distraction. I do like the fact that you're talking to us. I think that works really well. You look at us for the most part. You're trying to engage us. And I think that gives you a lot of credibility. It makes it a lot easier to listen to you. We're going to talk about anxiety issues. I'm not making a big deal about it right now, but you got nervous feet, so you're going to have to watch that too. That's where all your energy's coming out. All right, thank you.